Good morning. So here's the epic conclusion to the growing of tropical fruit trees in cold climate series that I've been doing this winter. So we are second day into day 3 of sub-freezing temperature. So just as an experiment, place a bowl of water in here, left it in the ground. Yeah, this is what you get in Central Valley. Now normally, the nice thing with the freeze, well, I mean, one of the benefits with growing with the freeze is they come in spurts. They generally occur 2 to 3 days out of the week, so it's not like consistent week-long sub below freezing temperature. So that in some way gives the tropicals kind of a break. But I kind of wanted to just show you just how some of the trees are doing. I mean, this is probably the 4th freeze that it went through this winter. And when I say freeze, I'm talking just any time that it hits below freezing. So yeah, I mean, everything seems to be doing great. In fact, even the sugarcane jujube is bouncing back just because of the unusually warm weather that we had right before this freeze here. So yeah, that's anyhow, yeah, it's everything is just hanging on for dear life, but you know, it is, I'm hopeful that this is the last freeze. So in preparation, actually what I did is some of the more frost sensitive plants, I actually did put them in my garage, which I will show you. But just don't mind the mess there. I'm working on cleaning it up. So this is what I'm doing with some of the more sensitive tropicals. Just simply shove them all in here. Wax jambu. This guy is still very much alive. It's still very green. As you can see, same with the jackfruits. Yeah, sugar apples. Even the miracle berry got sizzled a bit. So I may or may not have shouted them a bit too late this year. But anyhow, this is the result. But I have a very high level of confidence that everything in here will bounce back. So anyhow, this is all the more sensitive tropicals. I'm going to take you to the back where I've got some more to show you on what the other ones are going through. So I'll see you in the back. Backyard. Look at this, I got robbed. All my trees are gone. Well, actually, so just as a, really one of the least things you can do is if you are able to, just for the containerized trees, anyway, just put them underneath a covered patio or a gazebo of some sort. But yeah, this is what I had to do in order to just basically give them some microclimate in here. But everything else seems to be doing fine. You know what? I made a very interesting observation. Let me show you. So I keep preaching on these the Manila mango as being, you know, really the mango of choice when it comes to cold hardiness and heat hardiness. But there actually is a reason why they do phenomenally here, and let me show you. So here is a Manila mango that is in a container, 25-gallon container. Check out the root systems. I mean, this thing is massive. I mean, in all drainage holes, there's roots coming out of it. I mean, that really tells me that particular tree it's got a very good root system. So that's why it's able to withstand our climate so phenomenally well. Whereas, you know, Gramacho here, which is still very much alive, I scratched it, becomes, you know, deciduous during our winter time. Wax jambus, this particular one is a Jambu perfume. One of the hardier ones for some reason compared to the one that was in the garage. Same with the Black Diamond here. Yeah, most mangoes do pretty good here in the Central Valley, even with the cold. But wanted to kind of give you kind of like a walk around of, once your tree's been in the ground several years, this is really what you can expect with some freeze occurring. Patengotuber, it's looking awesome. Japoticaba, it's been in the ground 5 years now. It's doing great. Yeah, I mean, as you can see, everything in here is doing phenomenal. So, a couple of tips on what you do not want to do when your plant encounters frost damage. So number one, you do not want to water them. They are really in no position to absorb any water, because what happens is if you take a look at the mango tree up here, the Manila here, new leaves, new foliage, assuming the whole tree is like this, the tree is in no position to absorb water. There's no transpiration that's happening. So don't water your tree. You really should have watered it the night before the frost hits. Don't drown them, just make sure that the top level is just a bit moist. So number one, do not water your tree, your frost damaged tree. Number two is exactly what I just did. Don't take out the damaged foliage. Leave the damaged foliage on the tree unless you are seeing some signs of disease on the tree. Then yes, absolutely want to prune out the dead part or the foliage. But so number two, do not take out the leaves, because the leaves will provide some microclimate protection to the tree in the event of a future frost. I mean, we are approaching the end of February. There's a very likely another frost that will hit us come March. So that's the thing. And also, lastly, the reason why you don't want to prune or take out the damaged foliage or the branches is when you do that, you are actually encouraging the tree to shoot out new growth. And imagine, brand new growth, like this little bud right here that's coming out. If another frost hits, I mean, imagine what's going to happen to the tender leaves. If you look at the old foliage, the ones that are quite hardened, I mean, these guys can take the winter. But brand new growth like this, on the very top, these are very susceptible to just climate damages. So that's number two. And lastly, do not fertilize your trees. Just like watering them, they are in no position to uptake any nutrients. Nutrients make the trees grow. The last thing you want the trees to do during a freezing situation is to grow, and growing as in sprout out new buds. So yeah, I mean, all of that, all of the fertilizing should have been done, during the fall season. So anyhow, yeah, that's just some tips on what not to do to a damaged tropical fruit tree. So now, some of the things that you should have done in preparation for a frost would be, number one, just gently water the tree. A hydrated tree is going to stand a much better chance of withstanding the cold than one that's a bit thirsty. So that's number one. And the second thing is, if able to, just put them underneath for containerized trees, just put them underneath a shelter like my garage or a covered patio. Something that just helps to keep them warm, just even by a couple of degrees. I mean, a couple of degrees is life and death for some of these trees. So anyhow, yeah, I mean the in-ground trees, obviously, if you could see, I mean, I do not protect any of them at all, and instead just rely on the microclimate that's provided by the nearby trees. And of course, for in-ground trees, I know I keep saying this, but apply as much mulch as you can during the year. I mean, I'm standing right here. I mean, this is the concrete patio. It is a good 6 inches above it, and this is nothing but mulch. And you know, this is mulch. When it gets broken down, becomes awesome soil and nutrients for the tropicals. So I'm just really standing on just nutrient-based soil for everything that's in the ground here. It's just sucking up the nutrient. This is natural, so it's not like I'm fertilizing it. So anyhow, yeah, that's this is what you can expect for growing tropical fruit trees in Central Valley. Year after year after year, your tree will, if it makes it, your tree will just become super hardy, just like that big old massive Inga tree there. So anyhow, yeah, that's it. All right, have a good morning.